Welcome to this video on the Iranian Revolution of 1979. We will explore how events came together at the right place and the right time to transform a nation. This video will examine the Iranian Revolution in 1979, a defining moment that reshaped the Middle East. We will examine the pre-revolutionary context, the rise of opposition, the post-revolutionary era, and the lasting impact of this transformation. Iran in the mid-20th century was a nation of stark contrasts. The Pahlavi dynasty industrialized the country while centralizing wealth, which intensified social tensions, paving the way for upheaval. Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi ruled Iran for 37 years, promoting rapid industrialization and westernization. Supported by the US and his secret police, the Shah maintained authoritarian control, alienating traditional society and religious leaders. Iranian society under the Shah was stratified. Wealthy elites enjoyed Western lifestyles, while rural populations and urban workers faced poverty. Policies favoring foreign investors led to deep resentment among merchants and the clergy, who opposed the secular and Western influence. Economic disparities were stark between urban wealth and rural poverty. Wealth concentrated in Tehran's northern districts, while agricultural workers remained impoverished, with traditional livelihoods disrupted by modernization. Bazaar merchants, historically allied with the clergy, felt marginalized by foreign competition and modern retail. Their economic displacement transformed them into powerful political actors who mobilized against modernization. The Shah's White Revolution included top-down reforms like land reform, industrial expansion, and cultural westernization. This secular modernization undermined traditional powers and alarmed conservative society. The White Revolution had unintended consequences. Oil wealth enriched elites, bypassing ordinary citizens. Rapid urbanization created slums. Secular education produced questioning youth, and Western influence fueled conservative backlash, leading to widespread resentment by the mid-1970s. The opposition included the powerful religious clergy led by Khomeini, leftist intellectuals criticizing imperialism, and nationalist liberals seeking constitutional democracy. Despite their diversity, these groups were united in their opposition to the Shah. Ayatollah Khomeini, a senior Shia cleric, became the symbolic leader of the opposition from exile. He developed the concept of vilayat-e-faqih, advocating for Islamic governance, and his message spread secretly via cassette tapes across Iran. Religious opposition networks were highly effective. The Shia clergy provided organizational leadership, mosques and madrasas became political forums, and bazaar merchants offered crucial financial support. Khomeini's vision provided an ideological alternative to Western and Soviet models. Key revolutionary events unfolded between 1978 and 1979. The Qom uprising escalated into nationwide protests. Bloody Friday saw security forces firing on demonstrators, radicalizing the movement. Khomeini moved to France, gaining international attention. The Cinema Rex fire in August 1978, killing over 400 people, became a turning point. Blamed on the Shah's secret police, the tragedy galvanized public anger, turning funeral processions into massive anti-Shah demonstrations and accelerating the revolution. September 1978 marked an escalation with mass marches in Tehran and violent responses from security forces. Oil workers and bazaar merchants joined a crippling strike in October and November. By late 1978, a broad coalition united against the Shah. Religious leaders offered moral authority, leftist groups mobilized workers, and bazaar merchants provided funding. This unique unity crossed class and ideological lines. The Shah's position weakened as institutions failed. The military hesitated to use maximum force, and international allies signaled they would not intervene. By December 1978, the Shah's removal was inevitable. On January 16, 1979, the Shah left Iran, ending 37 years of Pahlavi rule. His departure sparked massive public celebrations across Iran, symbolizing the revolution's triumph. The United States, shocked by the loss of a key ally, initially sought moderation, then reluctantly accepted the change. The Soviet Union watched cautiously, avoiding direct intervention. On February 1, 1979, Ayatollah Khomeini returned to Iran after 15 years in exile. Millions greeted him as a savior. His return transformed the anti-Shah movement into a drive for Islamic governance. The euphoria was palpable. Millions gathered in cities like Tehran, celebrating freedom and the perceived end of foreign influence. These mass gatherings confirmed the revolution's overwhelming popular support and Khomeini's unifying role. The revolution immediately began consolidating power. A provisional government was established, but authority rested with Khomeini's Revolutionary Council, which dismantled old institutions and purged military officials. On April 1, 1979, Iran officially became the Islamic Republic of Iran. The new constitution established the supreme leader as the ultimate political authority, merging Sharia law with modern governance structures. Ayatollah Khomeini, the principal architect of the Islamic Republic, developed the doctrine of velayat-e-faqih. His charisma and anti-imperialist stance, calling the U.S. the Great Satan, mobilized the masses. Khomeini advocated for an Islamic state independent of both Western and Eastern powers. His ideological vision promised authenticity, justice, and self-determination, resonating powerfully across Iranian society. Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, the deposed Shah, was an advocate of Westernization and authoritarian power. His repressive secret police and economic disparities created the environment for the revolution's success. The exiled Shah moved through several countries seeking asylum before dying in Egypt in July 1980. His demise finalized the revolution's rejection of his entire vision for Iran's future. The new government restructured Iran's political landscape. New institutions included the Revolutionary Guards, a centralized Islamic judiciary applying Sharia law, and a subordinate parliament, centralizing power under the clergy. The revolution's triumph was followed by immediate purges. Thousands of former military officers and Savak agents were executed. These actions solidified clerical power but fractured the revolutionary coalition, alienating secular allies. The revolution devastated Iran's economy immediately. Oil production collapsed, and foreign investment fled due to international sanctions. Inflation soared, and unemployment rose. Over time, the Islamic Republic prioritized economic self-sufficiency, reducing reliance on Western trade. State-owned enterprises replaced private companies, and sanctions forced the development of domestic industries. The revolution dramatically altered women's status with state-imposed restrictions, including mandatory hijab. Family law reverted to Islamic principles, constraining women's autonomy and personal freedoms. Paradoxically, female literacy and workforce participation increased post-revolution. Women gained professional roles as the state invested in education and needed skilled workers, creating a complex social reality. Education was Islamized, with religious instruction becoming mandatory. Secular curricula were purged, yet access to education and technical skills expanded, reflecting the revolution's dual legacy of ideological control and broadened access. Religious observance became state-enforced, making mosques central institutions. However, this process was met with popular resistance, revealing a tension between state-mandated religiosity and personal freedom that defined the post-1979 cultural landscape. Western nations, especially the U.S., viewed the revolution with alarm. The hostage crisis cemented hostility, leading the U.S. to impose sanctions and support Iraq in the Iran-Iraq War, initiating decades of antagonism. Neighboring Iraq, under Saddam Hussein, seized the opportunity presented by Iran's chaos and invaded in 1980. Saudi Arabia feared the spread of revolutionary ideology and supported Iraq financially. The Soviet Union initially hoped to leverage Iran's anti-Western stance, but Iran's Islamic ideology and opposition to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan led Iran to pursue a policy of neither East nor West. The Iran-Iraq War was a direct consequence of the revolution's regional impact. The war resulted in over 1 million casualties, devastated economies, and cemented the revolutionary identity as a struggle against aggression. The revolution fundamentally altered Middle Eastern politics. It proved that popular movements and Islamic ideology could overthrow entrenched regimes, challenging Western dominance and inspiring similar movements globally. Culturally, the revolution reasserted Islamic identity while rejecting Western influence. This shift created enduring tensions between tradition and modernity, leading to vibrant artistic and intellectual critique of the revolution's complex legacy. 40 years later, Iran remains a regional power. Its nuclear program, support for non-state actors, and deep-seated hostility with the U.S. continue to shape geopolitical conflicts and alliances across the Middle East. To check your understanding of the key events, which event in 1978 became a turning point in escalating opposition to the Shah? The options are the Qum uprising, the Cinema Rex fire, Bloody Friday, or Khomeini's move to France. Next, let's test your knowledge on ideology. What was Ayatollah Khomeini's key ideological contribution to the revolution? Choose from promoting a constitutional monarchy, developing vilayat-e-faqih, promoting secular nationalism, or supporting Western democracy.